How are you?
I'm fine, and Seth. Oh, you look amazing. This looks like a professional professional environment. So yeah.
Well, it is a bit, but still a bedroom at the back.
Still, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not at home. So
It's okay.
hopefully the light is fine. I don't know if I
Yeah, the
have
light,
light.
no, the light is great. It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. Okay,
And we
cool.
just use the audio mainly anyway, so it's okay. Don't
Ah, okay, cool. All right. Amazing. Great.
don't worry. Anyway, let's talk about Subway to Sally post-mortem.
Yes.
It
Yes.
wasn't supposed to happen, another album. So what happened for you guys to change your mind?
Oh, there were so many things to happen during the last years. So, first of all, I need to say for the people who are not familiar with Subway to Sally, the band exists for about 30 years. So, to be honest, the band is in its 32nd year of history. So, uh, there are this also plays a role if you think about doing an album, doing a tour, doing an album, doing a tour. If you're in this circle for about 30 years, and when you take a look at the developments at the digital versus physic market, so there are many things you have to think about. And we came out from the pandemic situation with Corona a few years ago, and we did a record called Himmelfahrt.
Yeah.
And we were pretty sure that this is going to be the last record. I don't know why, it just felt like this. And this is also the reason why this record was called Himmelfahrt. Because if you search the web for translations of this word, this is Himmelfahrt is German and it means the moment when Jesus Christ is rising up to heaven.
Yeah.
So that was a hint that this could be the last record of the band. And then something pretty magical happened because I think Subway to Sally did the best record in the band's history with Himmelfahrt. And we found back to a very satisfying way of writing music and doing stuff. It always, after 30 years, some things just feel harder than when you start a new band. You know what I'm talking about? So
Yeah.
writing music, getting inspiration, the whole fun stuff.
Yeah.
Why you start playing music and start doing a band, that's probably missing after 30 years. And in Himmelfahrt, that was quite different. So it was a lot of fun to do the record, and the fans really appreciated it and they liked it. And if you take a look at the performance of the Himmelfahrt songs on the streaming platforms, you will notice that we created
Yeah.
some new classic songs of Subway to Sally, and everything felt right and everything felt fresh and everything felt good. And that's why we decided to keep on doing this
Yeah.
thing and to write new music because it was satisfying and it was
Yeah.
just fun. And then later it turned out to be our next record, just 1.5 year after the release of Himmelfahrt. Uh, uh, we recognized that we are ready to go with a new record. And that's also why it's called Postmortem, because we no one ever thought about doing a record again.
Yeah, and but what I sense with postmortem, there's a newfound energy within the band. I don't know
Yeah.
if that comes from Immelfart and from you guys, probably thinking that, it's going to be the last record, let's just have fun. And then you realize that you still can have fun doing it, you know?
Yeah, no, there's another reason for this. I think we decided Subway to Sally was always a band who was looking for inspiration and was looking for new influences. I know that we brought a lot of joy to our fans, but we also brought a lot of harm to our fans because some of the experiments we were doing, just if you take a listen to Midgift, for example, when we started to use dubstep elements
Yep.
within our music, and there were so many experiments that were also pissing our fans off. And on Himmelfahrt and especially on Postmortem, we decided to get back focused on the strengths of the band. So if you break it down to the strengths of the band, Subway to Sally is a pretty good live band, and Subway to Sally is a band that is blessed because we can. Speaking of ourselves, is always it sounds like sounds strange, but I would say that Subway to Sally is a band with good composers.
Yeah.
We can write good songs. So we can write good songs. We are a good live band. We have a fantastic violin player. We have a fantastic singer who has a pretty good range from singing very quietly to very powerful. And in hey, that's Podensky. He's on the way to
Oh.
Christmas market, and he
Yeah.
just wanted to say bye.
Want to say bye and hang on.
One of the we also have a very good lyric writer within
Yeah.
the band. And yeah, speaking of
Tell
Podensky,
him where you are.
we're just about talking about the strengths of the band and why Postmortem sounds so good compared to the other records. And I was just saying that we just focused on the strengths of the band because we're a good live band, we have a good lyricist, we have good composers, we have a great violin player, and I think that already is enough. We have a very good singer,
And we look good.
and we look, yeah, of course. Take a
Of
look at
course.
the album artwork, you will realize we look very fresh and amazing. Yeah, yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Fast, John.
Uh,
So and yeah, we stuck with the we decided to stick with the strengths of the band and to do not that much experiments, and this also turned out to be a good thing.
Yeah, I remember, I only watched The Way to Sally once, was at Wacken, and I think
Oh, cool.
it was back in 2001, 2002. I did three Wackens in a row. Back then, it was 2001, 2002, and 2003, I think, or 2000. I cannot remember. It was a long time ago. Anyway,
Mhm.
I remember seeing Subway to Sally, and one of the things I remember was the live image of the band. It was a strong image compared to a lot of bands back then.
Mhm.
I mean, because you guys have different type of instruments on stage already anyway, so you kind of stood out from the rest because of that. And the music
Yeah.
sounded good, even though for me it was in German, I couldn't understand most of it.
Oh, really?
I'm not very good with German anyway, but one thing that I do that I like to do sometimes is, Google is your friend. I just
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'll get a dictionary and try to at least see the titles to try to kind of understand a bit what's going on. But
Mhm.
I remember that show from Subway to Sally because it really stood out in the live performance. And
Mhm.
and after so many years seeing you guys really focus, as you were saying, in what you guys are good at, I think the world needs that. And we need bands that know how to write music, that are good live band. And you guys are that, even though you sing in German most of the time.
Even though you're a good band, even though you're singing in your mother tongue. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's obviously has to do with where you guys from. I'm not sure if I could, write good in Portuguese because I'm so used to talking English that for me, being in this rock metal world would be easier to write in English.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
I got
probably
you.
still
Yeah.
be bad, anyway.
Sometimes writing music, especially heavy metal, is easier in English, if you ask me.
Yeah,
So it happens when I'm sing along fantasy lyrics, when I'm composing, I usually sing English stuff.
yeah. Yeah, it becomes kind of natural, but at the end, if we look at some bands that write in English and it's really not good, they probably should revise some of the lyrics sometimes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I think nowadays, I think everyone is kind of they're in a good place when it comes to writing lyrics. But so when did you guys start working on the songs for Postmortem?
When we started
You
to write.
started, yeah. When you guys started was soon after
Yeah,
Himmelfahrt.
yeah, yeah. It was. I think it was pretty soon. So we had this tour. Then we were doing festivals, and then we had this Eisheilige Nacht tour, which is our very own festival tour every December. And right after that, we had a meeting. We went to a city called Quedlinburg. You've never heard of Quedlinburg before. I know that. That's in Eastern Germany, and that's a very, very, very nice city. There are just a few cities in Germany, medieval cities that were not destroyed during World War II, and Quedlinburg is one of them. And it's so cool because it's like a travel in time. It's like, yeah, it's like a theme park, but it's real. there are real people living in this theme park. And we rented a holiday apartment, and we went there with a good friend of us, who happens to be the singer of a band called Kiss and Dynamite. You may
Yep.
have heard them.
Yeah, I talked with them and I saw them this year here. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. He's very talented. He's
Yeah.
he's so he's so busy, and he's doing so many projects. He's working as composer and producer as
Yeah.
well. As I told before, he's a very close friend of Subway to Sally, and we were a few band members and him, and we were closing down the windows and the doors and anything, and we were just sitting there and writing stuff and talking about music and having some beers. And we also the street where the apartment was located was called Hölle, which means hell. So we started to write the first songs for Postmodern. Postmodern comes right out of hell, if you want. So, and yeah, we just spent a few days, and after these days, I think we had the first 5 or even 6 songs, or song ideas. It was still a long way to go, and still a lot of things to write, and a lot of things to record and to arrange. And after all, we had some more meetings, and we had some more production days, and yeah, we just did it. Somehow we did it. We are very slow, and we need a lot of time to produce, to write, to record. But in this case, everything was working fine, and we had a deadline, and we just broke the deadline for about 3 days or something. So that's very good for Subway to Sally.
And what was the first song that you guys, that was really complete lyrics, melodies? What was the first song that you guys finished for the album?
Yeah, that's a fun story because I have to look it up. I don't remember.
You have to look at notes.
Yeah, I have to take a look at the track list. Postmortem Subway to Sally. Is it already listed on Spotify? Let me see. Deluxe version. Oh yeah, it is. So we had Phoenix, Postmortem Wunder. Unter dem Monat. I think I think we were starting with Wunder.
Mm.
Because I think the lyrics are about, actually the lyrics sound pretty medieval and like a fairy tale, but there's a deeper meaning behind it. It's about people who promise things, magical things, if you don't feel good and you call anyone and like, yeah, we can do it with smoke or with, you know what I'm talking about. It's all this esoteric stuff. And that's what the song is about. And I can remember that I came up with the idea of the hook, Ich verkaufe Wunder, which means I sell you wonders. By the way, there's an English version on the deluxe version of Postmortem of the song as well, which is pretty much the same lyrics as in German. And I think that I came up in the first night with this idea because this idea I had on my notes for about months, and I would not bet, but it's probably one of the first songs
Yeah.
that we were.
And going to that, as you said, medieval city, does that, brings inspiration to you guys? You know,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
Portuguese,
yeah. I wasn't a fan of the idea to make a songwriting camp somewhere because I run my own recording studio. It's a commercial studio. You can rent it, you can record there, you can book me as producer. And I said, man, I have everything I need right there. Just come over, guys. Let's keep on writing music in a commercial studio. Why not? And Ingo was like, so my guitar player and the main guy behind the creative stuff of Subway to Sally. He said, no, 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 no. We need to get out of everything, to stay focused and to stay fresh. And let's go to Quedlinburg and just walk around the city and collect some ideas. And I think it was a good decision to make this. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's always, every time I go to a new city or a new place, it always inspires you somehow,
Yeah.
that because it's something new to you. And yeah, I was in Berlin for the first time in October, and I absolutely loved the city. Absolutely
Cool.
loved
Yeah.
it. I don't know what it was, but I was expecting something different from Germany because I've been
Really?
Yeah,
What did you expect from Germany?
you know, I I've been to like to Scandinavian countries. I've been to. I can tell you the story. The first time we went to Wacken, we rented a van and we drove from Portugal to Germany.
Oh,
And
this takes 2 or 3 days,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
And when we were in Germany and we got lost because we're talking in a time where we had, those paper maps. There wasn't
No GPS. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So we found like a petrol station, whatever, and we stopped there and we asked the guy slowly in English, like if you would speak English or you wouldn't understand. And we asked, where are we? We want to go to Wacken or Hamburg. That was close by. And the guy was like nodding his head, saying yes. And when it came time to explain, he explained in German.
Yeah,
And we were like, what? you know,
that can happen, and I think in every country in the world. I've been to China, and we've been touring China. No one was speaking English.
yeah,
No one. No
yeah.
chance.
And so I was like, I was expecting something more, a bit more difficult of a city, but it was so,
Yeah.
everybody was absolutely lovely. You know, people, I remember when I was in Copenhagen in Denmark a few years ago, people wouldn't look at you, anywhere. They didn't care about you. They didn't look. It was really cold. So I was expecting a bit the same, but it was different. I think it was a very nice city. I loved Berlin and I want to go back again. I just love the big streets, large streets. It's very nice. I love that place. It
I'm
was,
not so far from Berlin right now. I'm in Potsdam, which
yeah,
is I would say it's the in the south of Berlin.
okay,
It's said to be a different area, but actually it's if you want so it's a part of the city. Yeah.
yeah. But it was nice. I really enjoyed Berlin. It was,
Cool.
I wasn't, again, I didn't have great expectations and I was pleasantly
Yeah.
surprised. And people would speak English if you would, a lot of the time, but I try to speak German as well, because
Okay, cool.
that's the least
When
that
have you been there? When it was still with paper maps? You said something around 2001
yeah, it was
or
2001. Yeah, it
I
was,
remember when we were cruising around with our cars without GPS, just printing from Google Maps. That was a big thing back
yeah.
in these. Was a
No,
big thing. Printing all this travel guides.
yeah, we had the Michelin
Oh
guide.
yeah,
We had printed that, but
yeah.
obviously, there wasn't internet wasn't what it is today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My father, not my father alone. So pretty any car driver in Germany had the Generalkarte, which means the general map of Germany, and it
yeah,
was a set of 10 maps, and
yeah,
that was covering Germany, and I think parts of Austria and Switzerland also. So the German-speaking area, if you want so, and
yeah,
it was. I can remember when we're driving to vacation or something, he was just like he was folding out this map, and it took the whole car.
yeah,
He had to leave the car to put it on the roof of the car, and then to read the map. It's you. I think this is something. My nieces, they are 14 and 11 years old. If I tell them,
yeah.
they cannot believe.
Yeah. There
So
were,
crazy how times have changed within a few years.
but even with those maps, you would get to the destination. I mean,
Of course
you
not.
would you would no, you would get there anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
It might take because you'd probably have to stop to look again at the map just to be sure that you're on the right road and where to turn and stuff. But you would get there, and it was fun because you were almost had to know the streets and the
yeah,
surroundings, and it was great. I mean, we would need fucking GPS for anything. I mean, we would.
yeah. And I think it was a good thing for the brain,
Yeah,
because I don't remember the way to destinations, even if I drive them every week because I'm relying to my GPS, you
Yeah.
know, like GPS, okay, and my brain is not even thinking about remembering any of these streets or ways or something. So yeah,
But yeah,
it's just like remembering phone numbers. I know back in these days it was crucial to have
yeah.
the important numbers of your brother or sister. I don't even know the mobile number of my wife. I don't know it because I don't need it. But I still know the mobile number of my brother because that was from a time where it was important. If you leave the house, you need to know some important phone numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same with me. But when I was in Berlin, what I did was before I left the hotel, I looked at where I wanted to go, what metro I needed to take, what transport, what was the number, and that was it. Then I would put the phone in the pocket and would just go. And I got to know the city. And
Yeah.
after the third day, I didn't need the Google Maps for anything. I knew
Yeah.
where the important places were and how to get there. And for me, I was pretty happy
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey
But
man, nice talking to you. But I think if you have any more questions about Subway to
yeah,
Sally, we should go one step back because on 6
yeah,
p.m. I have the next
yeah.
interview.
Just another one on this record. You guys work with Workings on
Yeah.
Stahl of Stahl. How come the collaboration came about? You
You
have some
know,
English lyrics as well on this song.
yeah, I got a connection to the Workings because they were touring with Feuerschwanz, which is also, let's say, folk metal band from Germany. And we are pretty close to them. And I saw them on tour, and I thought it would be a good idea to have them on this Eisheilige Nacht tour. I was talking about this a few minutes ago. This
Yeah.
our very own festival tour happening every December in 10 cities in Germany. And we were about booking a co-headliner for this one, and then I came up with the idea, yeah, let's book a metal band, not a folk band, not a punk band. Let's book a metal band this year. And then we thought about War Kings, and we asked them if they are interested, and they were. And so we booked them, and then I thought it might be a good thing just to make a featuring with them. Why not? So it's they they are playing different music. I watched their show in Berlin. It's a pretty entertaining band. It's a pretty cool band. I think it's a they have good songs. They are good performers. They look good with their costumes, with
Yeah.
their masks and all this stuff. And it's a kind of different music, but it matches pretty good to Subway to Sally. And this is why we decided it could be interesting just to write a song with them, and that's what we did. So we teamed up with them. We wrote the song. We did this video within a few days, and we had a lot of fun. And we are very looking forward to the tour in December. Yeah, that's the whole story behind it.
Yeah.
When we started to write the song, we were thinking about what's the connection between the War Kings and Subway to Sally. So Subway to Sally is a more, let's say, medieval rock or metal band, and War Kings are more classic heavy metal, and they look like ancient War Kings, and that's not pretty medieval. So what's the connection? And then we came up with the idea, yeah, it's War Kings, and it's ancient, and Subway to Sally is medieval, it's Middle Ages. So let's talk about people who are fleeing from the real world, who try to escape the real world, and they are just doing this reenactment stuff, or they do live action role play, or they do online role plays. And uh, in the real world, they are working at a insurance or at a bank, or I don't know, or they're driving taxi, or they're musicians. But in the night or on the weekend, they are trolls. They are knights, and they're doing. They're fighting each other with swords, and that's what Stahl auf Stahl means. So
Yeah.
it's about escaping the real world and entering a new world which is full of steel on steel, Stahl auf Stahl, which stands for, yeah, fighting with swords
Um,
and ancient weapons.
yeah.
So some kind of hymn for live action role play or online role play if you
Yeah.
want so.
Cool. And to wrap it up, you talked about these shows in December in Germany for 2025. What are the plans? A larger European tour? Do festivals? What are the plans?
Yeah. It's always difficult to make plans for a European tour when you're a German-speaking band. To be honest, my mates from Feuerschwanz, they are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah,
They're actually in this moment they do their first European tour, but they also did a lot of English
songs they have.
English songs, yeah, thank you, exactly. And Subway to Sally, we are pretty successful here in the German-speaking area, and that's cool for us. And I think it's not going to happen that we try to make big experiments abroad. So we did this before. We've been touring in China, we've been touring in Russia, we've been playing in the United States. We are joining the 70,000 tons of metal
Yeah.
cruise next year again. But the next plans are a big Germany tour with Postmortem, then playing a lot of festivals, and then Eisheilige Nacht 2025.
Cool. Very good. All right. Thank you very much for your time. All the best for Subway to Sally. I hope you guys change your mind as well when it comes to Europe and you might find your way.
So, if there are any promoters or any fans who want to book the band, feel free to. We are glad if we can play somewhere. If we make it to make a transportation for all these weird instruments we are carrying with us. So just ask the agency or drop me an email. If there are any promoters interested in booking Subway to Sally, yeah, feel free to ask.
Yeah,
We're glad.
there's no harm in asking. Anyway, I know it's guaranteed as always.
Oh, you head over to Germany. Come on, you love Germany. You
I
told me
love
before.
no,
No problem for you.
we have some festivals here in Portugal that are branching out a bit. So, maybe if you talk to the right people, they might,
Yeah,
let's hope.
would be cool. Yeah.
I will annoy some of the
How,
festival promoters anyway.
how do I pronounce your name? Jorge?
George.
George. All
Yeah.
right, George. Nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
See you
very
next
much.
time.
Have a great day. And I hope to see you guys soon. Otherwise, I'll have to go to Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, you're invited. So if you come over, I will pay for the beer.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you
Thank
soon. All
you.
right.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much,
Thank
George.
you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.